There is nothing neutral about the movement of people. There's nothing apolitical about the creation of music.
Well, any traditional music is part of a continuing stream of consciousness. And if it's a product of migration, it would have a lot of meaning suffused in it.
So I'm born and I start hearing music. My parents are huge folk fans, the Kingston Trio and Pete Seeger. And I remember my teacher mentioned offhand, it's an Irish song. And so even just to know as a little kid, it's this music that you basically woke up to as a person is not from where you woke up. It's from another place.
You know, most Americans think of Irish Americans as the immigrants who came to America after the Great Irish Famine in the middle of the 19th century. But there's an earlier migration that in fact, a lot of Americans don't know much about at all. That is the migration between 1700 and 1800 from the descendants of Scottish settlers who were planted in the north of Ireland by King James I in one of the biggest land grabs in Irish history, and led a fairly unsteady existence. So when the opportunity came to come to America, they took it with open hands. They emigrated to Philadelphia and then down the Great Wagon Road. And out of that group of people would have came a distinctive Appalachian culture, which we know the music of as American old-time music.
So when the Scotch and the Irish came over here, and that mixed with all of this like profoundly rhythmic music coming from Africa and hymns from the Lutheran hymnal, you kind of put all of that stuff together. Bill Monroe is a person who grew up with all that stuff, and that's why bluegrass music sounds the way it does.
The songs that I hear in Appalachia, one can find echoes of Ireland in them. I hear that kind of high, lonesome sound, which is characteristic of sean-nós singing in Ireland. You're singing like "Call to her fagan play," and I hear Ralph Stanley singing something like "Oh Death."
Whoa, Death, won't you spare me over till another year?
The world tradition, and it travels in mysterious ways. Music, when it goes over the wall, there's no knowing where it ends up.
Migration history isn't just about the history of one community moving into a new area. It's about how newcomers confront each other and what they sound like to each other.
And I think we've only begun to explore the surface of the connections that happen when we all end up here together.
The only reason America exists in the way that it does is because of the contributions of every culture from around the planet.
I think that these migrations remind us that there are many American stories, and there is nothing that requires our attention and our care more than ensuring that we are always striving to tell the fullest and most complicated story about our nation.